Welcome to episode 2 of the Bible in Context. In the last episode, we saw that the soon to be Israelites consisted out of different groups of people. These different groups of people came to the highlands with their own histories and beliefs. These would become the foundation of the Israelite religion. Three events proved to have a lasting effect on the Israelites' religion. The first were the slaves who escaped out of Egypt. Then there were the stories of the forefathers, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and their history. The last were the laws given at Mount Sinai. It is important to remember that these stories were more basic versions than the elaborate narratives we find in our Old Testament today. We will investigate why and how these stories developed in later episodes. We know that historically, a few slaves did indeed escape out of Egypt. It was not such a grand event as we think today. They were probably no more than a handful of slaves. On their travels, these slaves encountered other groups of people where they learned about the God Yahweh and attributed the success of their escape to him. It did not take long for all the inhabitants of the highlands to adopt this God that they believed would fight on their behalf. This often gave them courage in difficult situations. The second group that brought an impactful story to the highlands were the wandering nomads. Nomads had strong family ties and were deeply connected to their ancestors. It is from their history that the Israelites adopted the stories of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Furthermore, these forefathers' history was seen as proof that Canaan belonged to them and that the local sanctuaries were theirs to use and worship from. The last group that contributed to the Israelite religion through their stories were those who had a divine experience of Yahweh. This was most probably in the form of volcanic eruption. If this eruption even took place, it would have happened in Edom, but was later reinterpreted to happen at Mount Sinai for religious reasons. Some evidence suggests that this group could have been the Egyptian slaves, but it was most probably a totally different clan who later settled in the highlands. Be that as it may, they believed that Yahweh had a personal relationship with them. As we will see in later episodes, every story had a specific purpose and meaning. These simple stories evolved to convey specific messages, mostly about how the Israelites understood the world and what God expected of them. In the next episode, we discover how these stories developed into a religion with laws, rituals, and traditions. This did not happen overnight, as these loose tribes first had to become one nation under one king.